discussion? Any other business from the work session to discuss, guys? Motion to adjourn work session.
So moved.
Roll call. Work session is adjourned. All right, 6 o'clock, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Becky, roll call, please.
Smith. Here. Gustafson.
Here.
Ramsey.
Here.
Wynn.
Here.
Brabner.
Here.
Mayor.
Here. Drew, would you mind leading us in with the invocation and pledge allegiance?
Lord, thank you for bringing us all here together tonight. We ask you for your wisdom as we discuss issues pertaining to the city. Thank you for this rain. We've been needing it. We wash away some of the trees. Thank you for everything you provide for us.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice for all. David, we got recording going on?
It should be recording. I'll check Facebook, but I know it is scheduled to record.
Okay. So I'd like to ask for the approval of the minutes of the following meetings, both the regular meeting November 17th, work session November 17th, work session November 18th, special meeting November 22nd, work session November 22nd, and then a special work session November 25th. Were there any changes to those minutes that you guys wanted to make?
That's a lot of meetings.
It was. Yep. So we've got a good crowd here tonight. Just to let you guys all be aware, we worked through budget work sessions the last few weeks. That was the reason for the special meetings, and also comprehensive plan, where we've been interviewing some companies as well for those. So the minutes stand as posted. Reports from committees. Ms. Gaines, anything?
No report, sir.
Chief Barber, anything from you?
No report, Mayor.
Chief Few, any reports?
No report.
Sheena, any reports?
No report, Mayor.
Mr. Smith, anything from the Planning Commission?
Not at this time.
Carl, anything from Junior City Council?
Yes, the Junior City Council will be hosting an event at Loyalty Park this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Paws and Claws, they've got a Facebook event set up for that as well. Basically, they're going to be looking for an opportunity to get people out to have, for lack of a better term, a puppy play date, but they're also encouraging people to bring donations to benefit the Haven on that as well. So anyway, come out and support the Junior City Council as they try to implement a program at Loyalty Park.
All right, thanks, Carl. Ms. Brabner, anything from the Three Mill Commission?
Providing intervention to our third graders especially is very important due to the Alabama Literacy Act. In order for our students to promote to the fourth grade, they need to be reading on grade level, also, passing the ACAP. So in order for us to, fill their academic gaps and their needs, we provide that intensive, explicit instruction to them within small groups. And our PTIs do an amazing job at fulfilling those academic needs and aligning their instruction to their achievement.
For those of you who weren't here at the last council meeting, it was announced that every one of our schools in the Spanish Fort High School feeder pattern are all A-rated. I think the lowest grade was maybe a 94. We've got Ms. April Bradley back there that can expand on this. I think Rockwell School, elementary school, got a 98. So without a doubt, I think it is safe to say that 3 Mill does matter. We're seeing incredible improvements from our students. Those who are performing under grade level are getting up to grade level, and those on grade level are even excelling even higher than that. So just wanted to let everybody know that 3 mil does matter.
Thanks, Mary. We're going to open the floor now for public participation. Just so you guys know, we do have several sections tonight's meeting that will have an open public participation as well for those agenda items. So for both the Longleaf agenda item, the Rain Plantation and Grace Magnolia's agenda item, and then the Woodside Business Park agenda item, we'll all have open hearings for those. So if you have something other than that, we'll open it up now for public participation. All right, we'll close public participation. So just a couple announcements. It's the Christmas season now, so we've got some events coming up here in the city of Spanish Fort. On Sunday, December 7th, we'll be having our tree lighting event here at City Hall. This year it's going to include hot chocolate. Mrs. Claus will be joining us as well from the North Pole. We'll have some food trucks, including some hot chocolate trucks. Cookie decorating with our junior city council will be here as well. So it'll be a fun event. On Saturday, December 13th, we'll have our annual Christmas parade. So if you're still looking for a float for your organization, you can still register for that until December 9th at thecityofspanishfort.com. And then December 18th, the night before Christmas book reading and Cookies with Santa will take place here at 6 p.m. At City Hall as well. The City of Spanish Fort and Spanish Fort Senior Center and Spanish Fort Public Library will be closed Wednesday, December 24th through Friday, December 26th for the Christmas holidays. Also, Waste Pro will not operate trash pickup on Christmas Day, December 25th, or New Year's Day, January 1st. Those routes will run one day behind for December 25th on the 26th, and then on January 1st, route will run on January 2nd. Any old business? No? Okay, new business. We've got recognition for former city council member Shane Perry. David?
Councilmember Shane Perry was the District 3 council member from 2020 to 2025. And while in office, he became a certified municipal officer through the Alabama League of Municipalities. He served a term as the chairman pro tem of the city council and as chairman of the library board. He's been a faithful attendee of all City of Spanish Fort public meetings, even if he was not required to attend. And I can say that as being planning commission meetings, board of adjustment meetings, or whatever else was attended. In addition to his city service, Shane and his wife Vicki have been long-time servants to this community, whether it's in school system, athletic sports associations. I could just go on and on. Fire departments, serving people through their churches. They really have a heart of a servant, and when Shane was serving as a city council member, he brought a calming effect and was very insightful in making decisions and leading for his district. And we just, I know that the council and mayor all want to recognize those efforts, and as well as Vicky's service through the Santa readings and different things. They've just not, we'd be remiss to just thank them for their city service to the city council, because they are much broader than that and have been for years and years.
Thank you guys so much. I hate to go up with this evening without thanking my wife and sons for putting up with me for 5 years during the city council. The past city council, it's been crazy sometimes, but they have put up with me, and I appreciate them so much. You guys on the council, you guys are awesome. Thank y'all for the last 5 years, putting up with all my mess and that kind of stuff. You guys are like my second family, so I appreciate y'all so much. And then the citizens giving me the opportunity to serve. It's just been unbelievable. So thank y'all very much.
To both the Perrys, I'd like to thank both of you all for your service. I know David hit on this. Shane and I were talking several months back about how many French fries and hamburgers you think you've estimated to cook over the years at all the ballparks. He said thousands. So a lot of that stuff is thankless, obviously, like any other service here in the city, but we do appreciate all that both of you guys have done over the years in the city. Thank you. In last meeting, we were able to recognize some city employees that have had 5-year anniversaries with the city. This gentleman was not here last meeting, so we're going to recognize Mr. Larry Davenport of the Police Department, if you'd like to come up. All right, first we're going to look at ordinance number 725, 2025. David?
Mayor, this is an ordinance declaring certain city-owned property unneeded for municipal purposes and approving an agreement with the Solid Waste Disposal Authority of Baldwin County regarding the construction and operation of a charm center. The mayor and staff have been in discussions with the county representatives regarding this proposed site. They are reviewing this site and coming with some additional engineering information and studying the location as well as others in order to make a final determination. So it is suggested that no action be taken on this item tonight to give them some additional time to consider and submit some additional information to the city.
Yeah, I think their engineers are plans to come either this week or next week to look at the site. At that point, we'll move forward at that point and hold this one over. So we're going to have a public hearing now on ordinance number 728, 2025, and ordinance amending ordinance number 5196 of the City of Spanish Fort, establishing the zoning classification of certain property known as Longleaf, a planned unit development. Mr. Connor?
Mayor, this is a proposed ordinance, and it's a pre-zoning of property that is proposed to be annexed into the corporate limits of the city. The property is located north of County Road 40 and east of Highway 225. A copy of the legal description of the property is attached as Exhibit 1. Attached as Exhibit 2 is a planned residential development master plan for the site. There are multiple components of this PUD plan. The largest and most impressive amenity of the site is a large golf course. It is a beautiful course. There's also the first phase of the development or subdivision has already been constructed on that site and was approved by the county. That has been developed. They also plan to have additional amenities, including a golf clubhouse that may include a restaurant as well as a pro store or retail store within that facility. There are components of the site that would have R1 residential development, some R2, some R3, and maybe some townhouses and apartments as well. The master plan defines the general area where those locations of those zoning classifications or type zoning classifications would be located, as well as a lot layout for those particular developments or neighborhoods within the planned unit development. Because there may be some topographical and other issues in the development of the site, the Planning Commission will look at each phase of the development in accordance with the subdivision regulations and the applicable zoning classifications for the zoning classification for that area, and will make those determinations at that time. It may be that some of the layouts changes, like access has changed, but as a general rule, according to the proposed application, there will be no increase in density. The number of units that are available at that site will remain the same, and they'll develop it according to the overall site plan subject to those changes. Also attached as Exhibit 3 is a general site location map for that area. It was also, they provided a planned unit development narrative or PUD development narrative for that site that has been updated and that was not made a part of the original master plan as published, but it does contain additional information that I think will provide some insight to the neighbors. It also sets forth design guidelines, restrictions, things that are even more restrictive than what the zoning ordinance would otherwise require, and also talks about the master plan, the signage, different aspects of what they propose to the amenity. It's been requested, and I think rightfully so, that be added as part of the overall PUD application. It's part of the application, but part of the ordinance to be made as part of the exhibit to Exhibit 2. And so we'll be, in order to avoid any question or confusion, it's suggested that you open the public hearing tonight. We will have the narrative posted on the city's website as well as in the posting locations in the event that anyone has any questions about this. But it also sets forth what the limitations are, site plans, those kind of things, and is more restrictive on the development, which I think is something everybody will take comfort in, the level of planning and development they've done. Suggest that you have the public hearing tonight, recess the public hearing to the next meeting, reconvene the public hearing to see if anyone has any questions as it relates to this narrative that will also become a part of the ordinance.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Connor. Any additional comments from the council before we open public hearing?
And Mayor, we do have some copies if someone would like, in the audience would like to have a copy. Again, it's going to be posted on the city's website as well as posting locations.
Okay. Thank you. So I'll open the public hearing for ordinance number 728, 2025. Okay, we'll close public, oh, I'm sorry.
Name and address as well, please.
Sure. I'm Kathy Barnett. I'm registered agent for the project on behalf of the Oni family. So I was going to just give you a few more high notes that Mr. Connor had highlighted, just to provide a little bit more context. I was waiting to address any community concerns because I like to address those and tell you how we're going to handle those, but nobody came forward, which is kind of nice. So that was my reason for delay. But just some high notes, and we went through a good bit of this in the public hearing for the Planning Commission. Some of you were in attendance, but the Onis and a few other partners purchased the property in 2005. From 2006 to 2010, they started the golf course, constructed it, built the first 79 lots, which are platted and already as seen on the plan. About 3 years ago, the Onis decided that the market was ready and began kind of informal discussions with the city of Spanish Fort. Felt like this would be the right community rather than Baldwin County, that it made sense and that they wanted to be part of this. We did some annexations about a year ago for property to the south of this to create that contiguousness to allow us to do this. And then have been working on the PUD, the design, and what the overall feel for the entire development would be. We've met with city staff throughout the past couple of years just to try to give the best quality project that we could put forth. So Mr. Connor highlighted the golf course, which is certainly a shining star. That's on the western half of the PUD. But on the eastern half of this 1,600-acre parcel, there's actually 400 acres of an animal sanctuary, which is also a pretty unique public benefit for the project as part of this. And in that, Miss Oni, it's her pet project. It's rescue animals, but there'll also be a wellness center, cooking classes, and a place for the community to come together. So pretty neat, unique features that don't exist in Baldwin County as it stands right now. So I think it's a feather for Spanish Fort. The sanctuary is already receiving rescue animals. I think the last count was somewhere around 30 plus or minus animals already there, so it's operating. On the western side, just for some numbers, there are 246 single-family homes, 125 townhomes, and 79 platted lots, like I said. And on the eastern side, 3.93 single-family lots, 251 townhomes. So the 1,600 acres, we have 1,015 total doorknobs. So it's less than an acre, unit per acre. So pretty, not what you normally see for a development. We do have a master plan, so there are some intense areas of use that Mr. Connor was referring to. We've got golf, pickleball, the fitness center, all on the restaurant, bar, pro shop, retail space on the western side for the golf course. And then, just so you know, the Planning Commission, the community concerns primarily were about the legitimacy of whether or not the city had the ability to annex this property. There was some confusion about the landmark district from a number of the residents that came out. Mr. Connor explained to them that that was, the city had the ability, obviously, to annex this. There was some confusion about whether or not the way that the maps were presented, that they were being annexed, and they did not want that. It was explained that this is just solely the Oni property and the 1,600 acres. And then there were some concerns about the rural quality of life and whether or not they wanted it for the Baldwin County residents that were there. I think the Crossroads also came out. So that is primarily the high notes.
Okay.
If I can answer any questions, I'll be happy to.
And Mayor, I would add one thing that I forgot to mention earlier. The Planning Commission did have a public hearing, and they did forward a positive recommendation for the planned unit development designation for this site. And also, the property will only become part of the city, and the PUD will only become effective upon annexation of the property in the event you move forward with the annexation as well.
Could I add it was unanimous as well?
Sure. Thank you. Is there anyone else for public participation? Yeah, I'm going to recess public participation, and we'll reconvene at the next meeting. Public participation is closed. Yeah, Mayor, do you have something?
Kathy, can I ask you some questions? Obviously, I'm concerned about us being able to adequately support it with fire and police. I know that there's a volunteer fire department there, so that's less of a concern. So that is my initial concern about this project. But second of all, on the townhomes, are they going to be sold to individual owners, or is that intended to be like an apartment complex?
It is not intended to be an apartment complex. In
Okay, so
fact,
their
we
owner-
do not have apartments. I think we even strictly prohibited that within the PUD narrative. So
Okay.
as you have that, there are no apartments.
So the owner could lease their property
could.
out, but it's not going to be like a mass
Correct.
apartment complex?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Because we knew that that was a sensitivity for the city all along, so we wanted to make sure that that was pretty clear. The other thing that I didn't mention was that the proposed build-out is 10 to 15 years, so we are talking about moving pretty slowly and deliberately. Obviously, the focus is on the western side, which is the already developed golf course side. The eastern portion, to create an entire PUD, you have to have a master plan. So we wanted to put something on paper that will require further design, further evaluation, further support, and understand that all of those are requirements. The sanctuary, of course, is underway. So as we see the build-out moving forward, we're ready to actually submit phase 2 for the next phase of development. Upon approval and acceptance and annexation, the Onis would like to start selling the lots that are already platted. Right now, they're the only home constructed and living in the 1,600 acres of the project, and they built that about 3 years ago and have been living in that. So we know that it'll be gradual, and that will have to be slow and deliberate.
I also heard that you have selected 4 custom builders, and there will not be volume builders. Is that true?
Have you selected them yet? Mr. Oni's here. He's the owner of the property.
Okay.
He's been talking with them, but.
That is not my case. We do plan on, we're interviewing builders,
Okay,
and that continues. We plan to have between 5 and 8,
okay.
but we have not selected them finally yet, but we're working on it.
I think the
And
bigger
the
question.
second part of the question of
Right.
volume builders, are we looking at volume builders up in there? Okay. Thank you.
You good, Mary? So for the, for the lease portion, is there a percentage there that you guys would allow for rentals, or has that been discussed? Is that part of the narrative?
We do not have that as part of the narrative. If that's something that needs to be stipulated, then that's certainly something that I think the Onis would be willing to consider. It's not intended for lease. That's not the goal of this at all.
Yeah.
Mortgage guidelines will dictate that.
Well, and I know with Quail Hollow, we did, I think, put something in place years ago about how many could be used for rental purposes, so. That I don't know, yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
okay.
We'll be happy to hear what the city would like to see on that.
Okay. Thank you. So we'll leave this recessed. Mr. Ernie?
Can you come forward, please? I'm in the mortgage lending business, and so the regulations will determine how much, what percentage you can have as rental property when you're looking at that whole portion of it being townhouses. So that's.
Thank you, Mary.
Unless they're paying cash.
So Mayor, just for clarification's sake and for purpose of announcement, the public hearing was recessed by you, and it will be reconvened at the next meeting scheduled for December 15, 2025, the regular meeting. So anyone having anything to say in opposition or favor of is welcome to come. And again, we'll make sure the narrative is posted on the city's website and at the posting locations.
Okay. Thank you, David. So we're going to have a public hearing on the following ordinance, number 729, 2025. This is an ordinance amending ordinance number 5196 of the City of Spanish Fort, changing the zoning classification of property described as Lot 13, Woodside Business Park, Spanish Fort, Alabama, from R1 to B2. David?
Mayor, this property, the owner has requested that it be rezoned from R1 to B2. This is Lot 13 in Woodside Business Park. This is located on Highway 31, near Cameron subdivision as well. This property was previously rezoned to B2, and it came in as R1 under the last local legislative act, but the property was not devoted to a use within the time frames under the reversionary clause of the zoning ordinance, so it reverted back to R1. The City Council has since that time amended that reversionary clause to not apply to this district in the event it's rezoned, so if it is rezoned to B2, it will remain B2. And again, the property was requested to be rezoned to B2 local business district. The Planning Commission forwards a positive recommendation for the rezoning request, and the property owner stated that their plan was to develop it as a State Farm office location.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, we'll open the public hearing on ordinance number 729, 2025. All right, public hearing is closed. Do I have a motion to adopt?
Make a motion to adopt ordinance 729, 2025.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, Becky?
Smith,
Yes.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Ramsey,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Brabner,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes, the resolution is adopted. We're going to have a public hearing on the following resolution, number 1567, 2025, a resolution authorizing the removal of barricades, gates, and/or other impediments to travel within the public right-of-way Emerson Drive in the city of Spanish Fort, Alabama. David?
Mayor, this resolution would authorize the removal of the barricades, gates, and other improvements located at Emerson Drive between Rain Plantation subdivision and Grace Magnolia subdivision. A copy of the location of the site is attached to Exhibit 1, as well as a copy of the subdivision plat showing its location in relation to the neighboring property. It has been requested that the City Council consider removing and opening that gate to allow for the movement of free access between those subdivisions and for alternate access in and out of the subdivision. Just from a standpoint of history, originally Rain Plantation and Grace Magnolias as platted did not include an interconnection between those two subdivisions. When the city began administering those regulations after annexation, it was determined that a secondary access needed to be added or a way to get out in the event of an accident at the entrance of either of these subdivisions. There was only one way in and one way out. And so this connection was created to allow for emergency access, emergency vehicles, police, fire, or in the event of some accident, example, a chemical spill or something at the entrance to one of these subdivisions, you'd be able to evacuate through the other subdivision to get out. And so that this gate has now, my understanding, is need for some maintenance, and some other issues have arisen regarding that, and it's been requested that the city council just consider removing that barricade to allow for the movement of traffic between those subdivisions.
Okay, thank you, David. I'm going to open public participation. Okay, public participation is closed. Do I have a motion to adopt?
I make a motion to adopt Resolution 1567-2025.
Second.
Smith,
Yes.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Ramsey,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Brabner,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. Resolution is adopted. We'll look at resolution number 1568, 2025, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a contract with Numo Group LLC for tax collection services.
Mayor, this resolution would authorize you to execute a contract with Numo Group LLC for the narrow purpose of collecting the consumable vapor products tax on behalf of the city, as well as other taking care of auditing and those kind of things for review processes that relates to that new tax. A copy of the proposed agreement is attached to Exhibit 1. We have had some questions regarding the length of term, and we're not able to receive a comment back from their staff. In addition to that, part of the reason we have the question is that it's also time for the renewal of the sales and use tax collection agreement with Numo. That was presented to us prior to this meeting tonight in the work session, and it was suggested that we speak with them and introduce maybe that additional agreement at the next meeting and consider those together, because you wouldn't want to adopt one if you weren't going to adopt both. And so it's suggested that we hold this over to the next meeting for consideration with the underlying agreement as well.
Any discussion on this one, guys? Mary? No? Okay, we'll hold this one over until December 15th's meeting. Want to introduce resolution number 1570, 2025, a resolution establishing paid holidays for the eligible city employees and staff for the 2026 calendar year.
Mayor, this is a proposed resolution establishing the paid holidays for the employees and staff. The holiday schedule is established by the personnel manual, which governs city holidays, benefits, packages, etc. Each year, the city council adopts the actual days of the vacation days based on the date, time, and where it falls, whether it's on a weekend, etc. And so this would be the actual dates and times adopted for the 2026 calendar year.
Okay, thanks, David. This is the first reading. Is there any discussion? I know we talked about this some in the work session. Any discussion, guys? Okay, this will be on the December 15th, 2025 agenda. Resolution number 1571, 2025, a resolution authorizing employees of the city of Spanish Fort to make a one-time donation of accrued sick leave to a sick leave bank for an employee. David?
Mayor, the city adopts again through the personnel manual a benefits package that includes the accrual of sick leave to help employees dealing with medical issues for themselves and or family members in order for them to be able to take care of themselves without having to miss a pay period or a paycheck. But in certain circumstances, the employee may or may not have accrued enough sick leave time at the moment, or because of an illness may have exhausted what they have accrued to that date. And so the city council has on different occasions authorized a one-time donation of accrued sick leave from employees to a sick leave bank, employees that have sick leave to a sick leave bank for an employee in need. And it's my understanding that we have an employee that, because they're a new employee, has not had the ability to accrue enough sick leave time to address a medical condition. And so this would authorize the donation to a sick leave bank for that employee. In the event that all of the vacation time, or not vacation time, I'm sorry, I keep saying that word. In the event that all the sick leave is not needed for this medical event, then it will be returned to the donating employee on a pro rata basis.
Okay. Any discussion on this one, guys?
Understand the timing is of the essence on this one, that we will probably need to suspend the rules. Is that correct?
Yep, suspend the rules on this one. Mary?
I also want to see, and we've talked about it before in the fall, I would like to see us come up with, adopt a plan that our HR director can implement, and we don't have to, they don't have to come to us each time they need it. If we come up with a plan and adopt that plan, then it's ongoing, and the employees can go to HR and say, hey, I got an issue, I need to take some days off. So, and we've got people willing to give to the bank, then we've got an accrual sitting in there. So I'd like to see us move towards that sooner rather than later.
Yeah, no, I agree. So before we suspend the rules, I was just going to ask, do we, the bank we have now, are there currently hours that have already been donated, or is that
It's to a particular employee, and in the event they're not used, they go back to the donating.
so those that were in there earlier in the fall have already gone back?
That's correct.
Okay, all right. Do you have a motion to suspend the rules for this resolution?
Make a motion to suspend the rules for 1571, 2025.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Smith,
Yes.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Ramsey,
Yes.
Wynn,
Yes.
Brabner,
Yes,
Mayor.
Yes. I'd like to call for a motion to adopt resolution number 1571, 2025.
Make a motion to adopt 1571, 2025.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Gaines?
Smith,
Yes.
Gustafson,
Yes.
Ramsey,
Yes.
Yes.
Brabner,
yes,
Mayor.
Is there anything you guys would like to add? I think that'll do it for tonight. Well, it was the first week of December. We announced it earlier again, the three city functions we have coming up for the holiday season. So just invite you guys to stay tuned to the city's social media and also website for information along those. There'll be some stuff posted around that this week too. So motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Meeting's adjourned.